everyone. My name is Leah, and today I'll be talking about something I kind of mentioned in one of my previous videos, the top 5 books you should read that are currently on my bookshelf. So I'll be talking about my number 1 pick, which was Iron Gold by Pierce Brown, and I'll be talking about how I met him and I actually got the book signed. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and get started. So when I first heard that Pierce Brown was coming to Austin, I freaked out. I made sure to mark the date on my calendar, and I was counting down the days until he was here. So he came sometime in January, and my birthday is also in January, so I got really excited. I'm like, oh, this will be the best birthday present ever I could possibly get myself. So I have the greatest friends ever. So even though they've never read any of Pierce Brown's books or anything like that, they're like, yeah, we'll go. And they were just as excited as I was to meet him. So they were totally awesome, and they brought me to Book People where Pierce Brown was. And we got there at 6:30, and the thing starts at 7. So we were there from 6:30, and it continued on until 12:45ish or something. We were there for a really long time. So yeah, so first Pierce Brown came down the stairs. It was a magical experience. So he came down the stairs, and I was kind of in disbelief. I was like, is this really happening? I don't really believe it. So then he did his talk, and then about his new book, promoting it, answering any questions people had, and it was so cool. It's amazing meeting authors, because you read their books and you hear their words through a character's words, but then when you meet them and hear themselves, it's a different experience, but you can see how the characters got that way. And it's weird. It was so cool though, hearing him talk and answer questions about why did this character do this, why did this character die, why all these different things, and then he answered them, and I was I have so much knowledge about this series now. I didn't know I needed this until now. And it was absolutely amazing. So after Pierce Brown finished his talk and stuff, you got to wait in line and then get your book signed. So we waited in line for a really long time. So it was around 11:45 or something when we got into the room where Pierce Brown was, because before we were just waiting in line and down the stairs and stuff. Then we got into the room where he was, and in that moment, that's when it actually felt real. Before, when I was just standing in line, I was kind of just yeah, about to meet Pierce Brown, and that's pretty freaking awesome. But then once you get into the room, you're oh my god, I'm about to meet Pierce Brown. Do you know what that means? So I was so nervous, and I was so happy at the same time. And then Ray, my friend, she had a brilliant idea. She decided that we should tell Pierce Brown it's your birthday at midnight. And then I was oh, that's such a great idea. We should do that. We should totally do that. So then we went up, and I go over and I meet Pierce Brown. I have my book open and ready for him to sign. I have it at the title page so he can sign it for me. So then I go in, or I go up next to him, and he stands up, and he's oh gosh, I can't even remember what he says because I was so flustered. But he's he asked for my name, and then I said my name, and then oh, there's a character in his first book who dies, and her name is Leah. He's sorry I killed you off in the first book. And at first I was what? And then I'm oh no, it's okay, I got over it. I said that so awkwardly, but it was amazing. But so yeah, so then he asked me that, and then Ray, my friend, kind of peeked up from the background. It's it's her birthday at midnight, and he's oh cool, and midnight's in whoa, 2 minutes, that's totally awesome. So then he writes happy birthday to me, and I'm thank you. So he writes happy birthday to Leah, and then he gets up, and then he goes and walks next to me, and then he puts his arm around me and to take a picture, and I was I was dying. I was in disbelief. This was one of my favorite authors of all time, and he was hugging me, like, not full on hugging, but let me dream. But he was like he had his arm wrapped around me, and my friend, being so amazing, she took so many pictures, and I was like, thank you so much. Like, I was so blessed at that moment, and it was so amazing. Like, the experience in itself, like, if you have an opportunity to go to a book signing or to meet an author, and you've read the books, because that makes it way better, but definitely do it. Like, if you have an opportunity to go, you should do it. It's an amazing experience, and you get to know the authors more, you get to know about the books more. It's just an overall fun experience. So I hope you enjoyed this narrative about me meeting Pierce Brown. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.